And we begin with breaking news tonight. Just in 2 hours ago, a jury decided that Charles Castle is guilty of kidnapping, rape, and attempted murder.
He took a young girl from her home, assaulted her, and left her for dead. 10 TV's Brittany Bailey was in the courtroom when that decision was handed down. She joins us live with the update. And Brittany, what was the reaction like in the courtroom today?
Well, Andrew, by design, there was little to no reaction because the judge, before the verdicts were read, informed the people in the gallery that they should make no audible reaction. And the people there abided by that rules as those verdicts were read one by one.
Verdict, count one. We, the jury in this case, find the defendant Charles Eugene Castle guilty of kidnapping.
After that first guilty verdict, we would hear 15 more. Charles Castle was found guilty on all 16 counts against him, including kidnapping, rape, and attempted murder. Now, when those verdicts were read, Castle stood in handcuffs and a protective vest. You may remember he was accused of taking a young girl from her home to his camper and then leaving her in the basement of an abandoned home. At some point, he strangled her, leaving her with brain damage and lingering injuries. He decided not to testify in his case, and his attorney did not want to talk to us after the verdict. But we did hear from the prosecutor, who was emotional about his journey for justice, and he had a special message for the man whose tip led investigators to find the little girl.
Numerous leads were followed up on. We went down a lot of dead trails, no avail. Thanks to the oversight and the good nature of Greg Patton, this girl's alive today. And if he hadn't done that, thank you, Greg, because she would be a different state of mind right now. She's alive because of you. So I give my heartfelt thanks to him.
Now, by all accounts, the jurors in this case were very thorough. They spent more than 9 hours deliberating, and 3 of those hours were spent rewatching interviews and surveillance video. Yolanda?
Brittany, do we know what kind of sentence that Castle could be facing?
Well, I did talk to the prosecutor a little bit about that. We know that sentencing, by the way, is happening a week from today. And at that sentencing, he will not be sentenced on as many charges. That's because now many of those charges will be merged. As the prosecutor put it, they wanted to have lots of charges on the table, not put all of their eggs in one basket. So some of those charges will merge between now and next Tuesday, but we're told the sentence in the end will still be significant.
All right, and Brittany, you mentioned that the judge had said, no reaction when the verdict is read. So were the parents of the girl in court today, and what was their reaction after the verdict was read and they were outside of court?
Well, Yolanda, I actually was sitting right behind the parents, the mother and the father. I can tell you the mother, who's been emotional throughout not only her testimony, but also in court, continued to be emotional outside of the courtroom, although they did not want to talk to us. Speaking of the parents, they've come under a lot of heat through this case, and we heard from the prosecutor about that. He has a strong message for the community. We're going to bring you that coming up next hour at 6.